to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies are blue for all my life. You and me, you, you and me,
Alrighty, Fitch and Tinkle smash everything.
Yeah.
Back again at you. We were just having a good discussion about the fuck tortoise, Diego.
Dude, he's inspired millions, and I don't mean.
Look at this tattoo on my shoulder.
Yeah,
maybe.
Dude, he's even inspired. Yeah, dude, he's inspired so many sperms, so many different male creatures across the galaxy. Everyone just wants to be like, dude, who wouldn't want to be called off the bench? Literally, like, hey, you fuck turtle, you little asshole who kept getting in trouble. I need you to come in here and like, dude, they had two I think with 2 males and 12 females, and now they have fucking over 2,000. He's got 800 babies. He's got 800 kids.
800 babies.
He's got 800 kids. Wow. Yeah. So like 40% of the population are like his offspring.
Turtles are his offspring. You sent me a link. I'm gonna link to.
Yeah. So if you guys are
talking about here,
yeah, if you guys live on a goddamn rock, Diego the tortoise flew in from the Galapagos Islands to help repopulate this turtle population, and it went better than anyone could have imagined because he made
He's a Chad. An alpha Chad right there.
Look at that thick neck, if you know what I'm saying.
Somebody say pussy?
What?
Yeah. What? Pussy?
Dude, he reminds me of, have you ever seen like an interview with like a male porn star? It's like, oh, the only thing they can do in life is fuck. Like they're really like not that bright.
Oh wow.
And I feel like he's like the male.
He's the male
porn star
equivalent of that.
Of like turtles, yeah. I feel like he was like a problem, and the only thing he's good at is fucking, and they just called him off the bench.
Oh man.
It's like that movie Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks and Leonardo. Yeah. Like Leonardo, he was a bad guy, but then the FBI hired him to use his bad guy skills for good. So, so that's what just happened with this turtle.
He, I wonder if he's got I wonder if they had like, did they have to like give him like Viagra or turtle Viagra or something?
That's what I'm saying. I think he's just like one of those male porn stars in like the 70s, dude. Like there's like 1 out of 100,000 dudes who could do that. Who could stay hard for like 2 hours with no pills. And I think Diego is just the fucking turtle. He's just like he's just a special creature.
I don't think so. I think that's just any male with that much access is gonna father that many children.
So do you think that they gave him some kind of like
I don't
Viagra?
think so. I think if you just kept bringing a new girl every day, like that's all the Viagra you really need. I don't think you'd ever be another new one.
I don't think every day, dude. I think he was like fucking doubling up like Wilt Chamberlain. I think he was like 2 or 3 a day.
That would be spectacular. I'd never wanted to be an animal so bad.
Yeah, and what fucking slow jam did they conceive all these kids to? What fucking turtle jam did they?
I want to know the soundtrack of the repopulation of these turtles.
You know what, dude? Now I kind of wish it was that song by the actual turtles called "So Happy Together," and he's just slow humping, dude. Just slow humping. Dude,
turtle
he's
shells clacking together.
dude, he's all head and neck. Dude, David Wade used to have this really awesome joke about guys who don't know how to fuck, about how guys with like small dicks and just like fucking wrap around a girl with their legs, and they're just like, I know this is good because my neck's starting to hurt. That's kind of how I feel about Diego. He's just all neck, but hella slow.
All neck. Man, I wonder if there's much foreplay going on there.
I've already contacted a guy on Fiverr to make me a fucking t-shirt design with him. So hopefully we'll have fucking Diego fucks everything merch. Tinkle and Diego, Fitch Tinkle and Diego fuck everything shirts.
Yeah, we should have him as a guest on the show. We should add that Diego fucks everything.
Dude, we're gonna have him as a guest on the show next week. I have some friends with some pool at the zoo, and fucking Galapagos Islands is at a zoo. Jesus Christ. Dude, I've always wanted to go there, man, but like I heard now it's not as crazy. I guess in the 80s or 90s you used to be able to go to like Galapagos Islands and just walk around all willy-nilly and kick fucking rare insects and shit. But now I guess but now I think
shoot a dodo.
I'm gonna take me one of these for home. Yeah. Wait, I can't put one of each in my backpack. So I think now I don't think that you're just allowed to walk around and like, just like kick turtles and shit.
Wow. Well, it's good to talk to you today. We were supposed to meet up or do a show yesterday, but
actually on Monday because you got robbed on Sunday night. Remember? Yeah.
Well, it's somewhere between me going to bed at about 10 o'clock because I did my lift. I put the kids to bed. No, it was because I was finishing some stuff up in here and put the kids to bed. And I went to bed and I got up in the morning at 8. I came outside. I came out to the garage at 8 because I was going to do some work out here. And the garage door was open. I don't know how it got open. And like some of my shit was stolen. I took my headphones. They were shitty headphones. So ha 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 ha.
Yeah, well, that's what's crazy is they didn't really know what they were doing, right? I mean, because you have some nice stuff there.
Exactly what they're doing. They took the headphones, my Focusrite, the whatever the sound thingy, and my adapter, my iPad adapter. So like they came in and they took specifically like sound oriented things, and then I found out they stole a drill. So maybe it's a band and they're going to build their stage. I'm not real sure, but like, yeah, it was very specific things. So I had to like use some of my points on Amazon to get the shit shipped to me so I could get it today, or got it yesterday. Things hooked up, running again today. But yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, I really hope the person really needed what they took really badly. And I hope they're able to turn that into a prosperous career and somehow and can pay other people back and donate money to charity or something. But it's just,
yeah, that's probably I don't think that's
probably. So like there was like TVs and like there was a lot of stuff in here that they could have stolen,
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think they could.
Well, I think it was, my opinion is I think it's a high school kid who was walking by my garage in the morning on their way to school.
Yeah.
And was like, oh shit, this garage is open. There's nobody around. Let's go see what's in here. And they saw, stuff they could fit in their backpack and took off and went to school. That's the best I could think, because I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. There's tons of stuff in here they could have taken, TV and lighting, and all kinds of
Well,
a lot big.
Yeah, so you're also like a pretty humble dude. So I'm gonna tell you my point. Like what I think may happen is they were like fucking grabbing shit. They fucking looked up and saw 20 posters of a dude with like black belts, shirtless, ripped, and they're like,
I don't have any of that stuff up now, right though. So
you don't have any? Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I have, I have boxing stuff up, and I have mats. Half my garage is mat space. So like they knew somebody here works out. Like maybe we should be quick, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a security camera, I guess. And now I've got a
padlock, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I've got a chain. Yeah. Okay. So I have my doors just like chain shut. You can't open it from the outside now. So yeah, because I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the garage accidentally went up or sometimes you can buy the things and change the thing and then guess, you can guess whatever the code is to open the garage. So that could have happened. I don't know. It sucks. It's such a dirty feeling. You feel so violated. I want to camp out. I want to hide in like some mats in my garage with my gun. And like leave the door open and just see who pops in. Like, gotcha, motherfucker.
Dude, that's what's so funny with you is you don't even really need a gun, dude. You can just sit there and box your shorts and a fucking V-neck, dude, and be like, hey, fuck face. And then they're like, oh no. Like for me, like I'd have to have like all kinds of like weapons and that sucks, dude.
God, my kids have like wooden swords and battle axes. Like come at them with
that, dude. That's so funny because like
buck naked in a wood sword.
That's so funny that you say that because I was thinking about making because if you go on these websites where you can print out stuff in like 3D, I was like, if I found all these dope like replicas of like weapons like maces and stuff like this. And I was like, I should build a fucking arm. I should build just a table full of like old school weapons. And I'm like, oh, but it would only like hurt once, and they would probably break in half. Like you would like I would need to use them all because they would be awesome for one hit, and then it would, Although
they have knuckles on there. It's like real. It's like a thick plywood type material that they have these weapons out of. We found this store. I'll give them a shout. Awesome. It's called Tinker. I think Tinker Toys, and they have a bunch of different toys that you wouldn't find normal places, but they have these cutout swords and barbarian axes and whatever. So they're really cool, but they're decently made. I have to watch the kids because they'll get into a battle and you're like tink tink tink. Like no. We only fight imaginary people with those.
Yeah, because a wood edge of a sword still is gonna fucking hurt.
I could do some damage with these things. Like they might break at some point, but like I could do some damage with them. Like they come out and they hit my heavy bags and stuff, and I yell at them because I don't want them to mark up my bag. But like it's still a pretty strong piece of wood.
Dude, if I could mark up a fucking punching bag, I'd be so proud of myself. Oh my god, dude, I want to see footage of me playing this new VR boxing game. So they have this brand new box, dude. It is. I mean, it's funny me telling you how amazing this fake shit is, but goddamn, dude. So what they do is really interesting. Is they don't make it like an arcade thing where like all of a sudden your guy has unlimited stamina, dude. It's like if you're tired in real life, you're fucking tired in the game. And dude, I was like, I did like 6 matches in a row, so it's just like 45 minutes of straight cardio. It's like I think I was looking at my heart rate. It was like I was up around 1. It was like it's pretty crazy, dude. It was like you get pretty. But dude, so at the end of the rounds, you have like a minute rest period. If you want the full minute, it's pretty crazy. So I take like 30 seconds because I'm no bitch, dude. So I walk over to my corner and they have all these ropes, right? I'm fucking exhausted, dude. I've been doing it for like 45 minutes straight. I'm soaked like with sweat, and I almost put my arms on the ropes, like to like rest, but they weren't real ropes, dude. I just caught myself the last second. I leaned over to like, and I fucking like, oh, dude, and then I turned it off because I'm like, I'm gonna fucking end up punching my girlfriend or punching the TV or something. But yeah, no, it's a really good cardio workout. I could see them doing, those fat kids in PE who won't take their shirts off and change out. This would make fat kids in PE want to like get in shape. It's pretty cool. Really cool. Yeah.
So is it more tiring or less tiring than the porno?
Dude, I last a lot longer in the boxing, to be honest with you. Who would have thought it, dude? I got the better cardio than I thought. I definitely last longer in the boxing than I do in the other VR. Which, by the way, dude, because I like people think I'm some expert about it. And now every porn joke people like make it, dude. It's like for the record, I may have participated in VR porn twice because you don't do it more because it's fucking awkward. It's like it's not very enjoyable because you got one eye on it and the other eye just like one hand on the headset, just getting ready to rip it off in case someone comes in. Oh, dude, it's not. Yeah. You don't ever feel safe, dude. You never feel even like I've gone on the road and like taking it. Yeah, I like always think I'm gonna get naughty in a hotel room. I never do, dude, because I'm always like that's when the maid comes in without fucking, and I'm just like, and I don't even know this whole.
That's when the porno gets good. When the maid comes in, I think you just wrote one,
dude. Because that's a good one, dude. Because if you have the mask
on, and then she just walks up and like puts her boobs, and you like think it's the porn. Oh my god, we just wrote porno.
I was going past the boobs. I was going right to.
That's gonna win. That's gonna win the Spank Me Award. What's the adult?
The AVNs.
AVNs. That's gonna win one. We should write that down.
Dude, you know how you know how like some comics have like a niche, and I want to say that mine is MMA. I'm just a fan. I'm not really want to, but dude, I think I want to make my thing the fucking AVN. So I'm always in town in Vegas during the AVN Awards in January, dude. That would be. I think I'm gonna try that.
If I ever do comedy, I think my niche will be to be funny.
The only fighter who's funny. No, dude, I was thinking about it off, and I'll tell you off air because this thing has to, and someone has to get hurt, so I have to insult somebody to tell you this thing. So I'll tell you off air, but it's a good one. But yeah, you do have and I think you already put the pieces together. Good for you. Anyway, great person. We're all God's children, and I think that we should all get trophies just for being alive, man. Hug your neighbor. Okay. Proceed.
No, I don't think we should all get trophies.
No,
at all. Some people put forth more effort than others.
I know.
So, like one thing that is bothering me is regardless of politics or opinions or whatever. Like, I think censorship is bad. I think it's bad. I think people should be allowed to say what they want to say whenever they say it, and I don't care. There's plenty of people who say things I disagree with. I don't believe in hate speech. I don't believe it as long as you're not inciting violence. I don't care. But MailChimp kicked Stefan Molyneux off of their platform the other day because he says things people don't like. And I don't. And then there's people coming at me on Twitter because I said somebody was gross. The lady who spearheaded the movement to get this guy deplatformed off of MailChimp. Like, people who are on that mailing list are there voluntarily. They want to be there. Like, this guy's putting out content and they're choosing to listen to it. Like, people who don't want to listen to it, they don't have to. They can change the channel or not be a part of the mail list. Well, this guy got kicked off the mail list now, and people are celebrating it. I'm just like, it's censorship. Censorship is bad, inherently bad. And they're like, oh, well, no, censorship is a government thing or whatever. And I was like, no, like, anytime you're trying to shut somebody up just because you don't like what they're saying or their ideas, like, that's bad. That's a negative thing. And it's so frustrating. These people, they live in this little bubble. Well, it's hate speech and they're going to do bad things. And no, you're a weak-minded person. Like, if what they're saying is wrong, then just talk, speak, use your speech against them, and it will destroy them. It will take away their base.
Wait, so what is that? So what are people? So what was the thing that got him banned that people are so mad about?
Just in general, things that he says. And of course, we live in outrage culture. So if you say things that are controversial, it gets more views and clicks. And he says something along the lines of like, he talks about like IQ and demographics in that sense. And people think that that's racist. And it's like, he's just talking about numbers that other scientists discovered.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about like women, like half their eggs are gone by the time they're 30 years old. So like the idea that women should wait to their 30s to have children is a really bad idea. The number of miscarriages that happen at that age, the medical implications that could happen to the person during childbirth or to the child's health in general, because the eggs aren't as good at that age. Like, it's all just scientific stuff, but people don't want to hear it. And if you say it, like, you're a bigot. And I don't understand these people at all.
Well, those are people who, you can't really say it. I was just going to be like, there's some watchers and there's some fucking doers, dude. And I think a lot of those people like that are like the watchers, dude, who like.
Yep. Well, I think it's people get an ego invested into their belief system and they think this is the way the world should work. And they don't care what science or technology or anything shows them the opposite. They attack and try to destroy anything that goes against what their belief system is, and it's really scary because who knows when popular opinion is gonna shift, and now you're under the bus.
Yeah, and and I've said it, dude, I'll keep saying it. Is there people, just because people have a voice now doesn't mean that you have a say, dude. And I think people really get fucking confused about that, dude. I think they really think that, like, oh, my opinion matters. No. You have an opinion. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Really. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, it's cool you have one. I mean, but it doesn't really. We don't have to stop because you had some fucking. I don't know. I just don't. I think. I don't know. It's funny. I was thinking about this. I was like, dude, I'm glad I'm like fucking middle aged now, because if it keeps going the way it's going, right as soon as I'm like, this is fucking lame, it's like I'm gonna be like 90 already anyway. So, but yeah, it's so.
Well, no, that's the problem though. Is the younger generations, if they're indoctrinated into this mindset and this victim mentality, then when we're in our 90s, 60 to 90s, then these people are running this shit, and if we don't agree with them, they'll put us in a fucking gulag. And re-education camp, and now we're getting beaten and raped because we didn't believe that there was more than two genders.
Oh no,
insanity.
And how many genders are you gonna get raped by in there? I was just wondering if I mean, are they gonna have fun with it, or are they just real dummies?
Speaking, it's gonna be the men who are raised without males in the household.
Oh, dude. By the way, I had this idea that I want to run past you on there. What do you think if I get a sex change operation and I join every fucking woman's comedy competition?
You don't even have to have the operation.
I don't?
No. I am I'm trying to set an interview up with this guy named Zuby, who's a rapper in England, right?
Yeah.
And for my podcast, John Fitch Knows Nothing. Plug. But he entered a powerlifting contest, right? He's a male African descent rapper from England. He joined this powerlifting competition as a woman, right? He joined as a woman. He came in dressed like a normal dude. You can look at, he was up on Tucker Carlson, but you can say Zuby weightlifting or whatever. You can Google that and check it out. But he entered as a woman. They didn't tell him no because they're afraid. They're afraid to tell these people no. And he smashed the deadlift and the bench press record for women in their country. He's the national record holder for deadlift and bench press in England.
And what's his name again?
Zuby, Z-U-B-Y.
What a great fucking masculine name too, dude, to be on the very top of there. Fucking
Zuby. So he is now the champion. He's the queen or whatever of powerlifting for bench and deadlift.
Dude, he's the king and the queen.
He no surgery, no hormones. He was only female for the competition and then left. So there's zero regulation or rules around this stuff. If you just say you're a female, that's good enough. Like we went over, did we go over the articles about the prisoners in Canada?
Yeah.
We talked about that last time. So prisoners in Canada are getting arrested and being like, hey, wait, I'm a woman. And then they're sending him to the women's facilities, and then they're having sex with all the women in the women's facilities, or sexually assaulting even the women in those facilities. So
yeah, because they're just letting some dude hang out in the shower stalls for like 30 minutes.
No criteria. There's no criteria. There's no like, okay, well, we have to do a blood test and check your XY chromosomes, whatever, to see if you're really a transgender person. No, it's just what you feel that day or whatever. So if it gets that way in the US, if I ever get arrested for anything, I'm definitely 100% saying like, I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. If I have to go to family court, I might try that too.
And then do you have to put your hand on a stack of Bibles and promise like I will not be aroused when I see those nice soapy titties.
Well, no, because you could be lesbian transgender. That's a thing.
Dude, someone's gonna get over big. It might as well be me winning America's Got Talent as a female, and everybody else can fuck off. Dude, oh, that'd be so great.
Dude, just put on some lipstick and go and be like, yeah, I'm a woman. I'm so offended. You are dead naming me. And well, it's all madness. There's no rhyme or reason with these people. It's just, I'm going to do what I want and not have any accountability. And there is no baseline reality. Everything's a social construct, so I can do what I want.
That's so amazing. Oh, dude.
It's wild.
John and his co-host, the winner of America's Got Talent, female edition, Big Schlong, Chris. Golden. No, I'm going to go by Goldenrod, dude. That's what I'm going to go by, Goldenrod. Goldenrod, Chris Tinkle. And there's nothing any of you fucking, dude. And the picture of me winning the title is going to be the trophy with me naked, arms out like fucking spread eagle, just a little acorn to the side. A fucking best female comic ever is what I wanted. Oh, that's so great, dude. And then I can take some pills.
Comic ever. I won.
And then for my sequel, I'll somehow get pregnant so I can do that thing all chicks are doing now where you just do a special pregnant, which doesn't make it even funnier, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if scientists have done the work yet, but I have.
Yeah.
And there's no difference between.
I mean, I'm pregnant. I got to plan another stand-up special.
Yeah, that's why I was like, dude, am I going to do a special while I'm like conceiving? It's just me making a cum face for 45 minutes?
No, how about no, you do your next special in sweatpants and take a boner pill.
The first ever, dude. And then like the thing could be like the first ever male hard comedy.
The hardest comedy you've ever seen.
Dude.
Oh,
dude. Can I steal that, or are you gonna? Okay, I'm stealing it. All right, that's so
brave enough to do it.
Dude, that is so. I mean, I'm gonna. But the backstage story.
You gotta send me the how to write a joke worksheet so I can.
Yes, I got it. I got it for you actually. But then, but it's weird, like writing that stuff down because it's like, how much of it is he gonna be like, dude? I know what a fucking premise is, dick face. Can you just get to the part? So it's like it's weird when I'm trying.
I'm beginner.
Okay, awesome,
I have no problem with training wheels. I'll take them off as I go.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, I have no problem starting at the bottom with stuff. I'd rather be good at things than just get to the.
I know, right? I'd rather like like what's that movie? Have you ever seen that movie Whiplash about that kid who plays the drums? And it's dude, you should really watch it. It's about someone who just wants to be the best at his thing. And he has a girlfriend and like sits down with her and goes, yeah, I think we should break up. I'm going to resent you my whole life because all I want to do is be good at this. And you're going to be, and he like lays out their entire future. And it's like the most awkward breakup scene you've ever seen him. But it's this dude that's all he wants to be is great. And this guy fucked with him.
Truth, man. And with distractions like that, like a woman, man, like I would say you don't have to break up with her. You'd lay it out like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is number one. You can hang around if you want to, but I'm doing this. Don't complain.
Yeah.
Shit. Don't try to get me to stop, or you can go away. I'll stop inviting you over. I'll change my locks.
Yeah, if I tell you I'm going to be eating chicken and rice, don't try to get me to have a bite of your goddamn.
If you want to break into the top 10% of anything, any type of career or any money making thing, like you're going to have to be obsessive about it. You have to, like, there's no other way to do it. If you cannot obsess over it, or you're not in it enough to obsess over it, and you can't cut everything out, friends, family, girlfriends, pets, even. Like you're not going to make the top 10%.
Oh, dude, so you're going to
have to be okay with being an also ran, and that's fine. A lot of people are fine with just, I just want to do it because I like doing it.
Yeah.
But like, there's a level of obsession if you want to be at the top.
Yeah. I heard this really cool interview with the guys who made that movie Saw, which is like fucking whatever. But they also have turned that thing into like that company Blumhouse, and now they're like fucking billionaires. But they were saying that when they were writing that screenplay, they had this moment where like it took them so long because they're like, dude, we aren't competing with the dude down the street who's writing a script in Australia also. We're competing with the absolute best in the world at this right now. So, it's not, and it was really interesting the way he said it was like, it took so long to do because every time that we looked at it, we had to be honest with ourselves and be like, that's not as good as fucking the guy that won the Oscar. It's not as good.
You can't be like, it's good enough. That's good.
It's down
One
that
take,
level.
we're done. No, you gotta be obsessive. You gotta be your own biggest critic. You gotta be harder on yourself than anybody else is gonna be. And that's also kind of what's funny about haters, is because like they have no idea, if you're one of these obsessive people, which I was or am, you put so much time and effort into something, and you have to be hypercritical of yourself to the point where like you're just the worst hater you could ever have, because it's the only way to like hold yourself accountable and really, you missed the workout, you let up the last round, you didn't do your drills, whatever, I'm relating it to MMA, but nobody is ever going to say some shit that you haven't said to yourself that was way worse and cut way deeper
Yes.
than that. Like, it's silly. It's such a waste of effort on these people.
Yeah, that's what, you know what, if I can give your book a plug, that was one of the cool things about reading your thing, is you were never satisfied, and you always knew that you had like potential to be greater, and you couldn't explain it to other people, but you just knew that when you didn't do what you thought was on your level, or what had to be done to get to the next level, that you were upset with yourself, and you weren't upset with anyone else, you were upset with yourself. And and then if you really get in print and someone's like journal entry, they're like, "You fucking dumb, you should have had Cheeto." Like, it looks like a psycho, but it's like, oh no, dude, that's how you have the
That's the way it is. That's why I wanted to share
so
all
personal,
of those entries with that stuff. You had to see it. Let the people see the obsession a little bit. Like, it's never good enough. Yeah, I learned this thing today. I did okay, but it wasn't good enough. So you push harder. It doesn't mean you give up and you cry about it and you go lay down. It's a motivation to make you work harder.
Yeah, I remember like when I was like, yeah, in high school, I was like, I never drank or anything, but I would go to these parties, but I would just take, because I always wrote, dude. So I would always just take my notebook with me, and I would just write at these parties, and I would never drink or anything. I would just literally sit by myself, and anyone who would be like, "Oh, that's dumb," I'd be like, "Oh, well, I could be friends with that person," because they don't get it. It's like, dude, like, I don't want to drink. I mean, for some reason, I just need to write. I don't know. It was just weird, but ever since I was a kid, I noticed I had that.
No, yeah, it's man, yeah, especially with like girls and parties and stuff like that. People who want to get you out or make you go out, or why didn't you do this? It's just one night. You deserve one night a week. Well, I mean, if you're not where you want to be, like, you don't have the time or effort or energy, to put it somewhere else.
And because at the end of the day, I could make myself come. If you want to get technical about all this shit, I could literally just make myself come. So, I mean, you're
not going to get ahead. You're not going to get ahead of the pack if you're doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what's crazy? So, dude, when I started stand-up, I didn't. So I do this line in the sand. I can tell you what day it was. I just remember I was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I just remember, oh, dude, I just totally, God damn it, I forgot, dude. Hold on.
Line in the sand.
Pothole.
You drew a line in the sand.
Yes, and I didn't have a date. I didn't hug for 2.5 years, dude. Nothing but just stand. And it wasn't on purpose. I mean, I wasn't like, vagina. But yeah, if like, if it's like our porn movie, if I have on my headset and a girl walks in and starts blowing me, I'm not gonna, ask her to leave, whatever. But it was, and I felt,
you didn't chase it, you didn't,
no, like zero. And I remember I was like, oh, dude, has it been 3 years since I've fucking come in the presence of a woman? Like, it was so, if I didn't notice, I had my head down, dude, and I didn't know. It was like crazy. I mean, I don't think it was on purpose, but I think it was on purpose.
No, I was in that same boat, but luckily I worked at a bar when I was doing a lot of this stuff. So, every once in a while, girls would just latch on and follow you.
Oh, no shit.
Like, you didn't have to put any work into it. You didn't have to drink. You didn't have to do whatever. I collected my money, my paycheck, and then there was a girl.
And then there was like a girl waiting for you at your car?
Not waiting at the car, but like girls would, get numbers, take numbers, whatever.
Dude, I'm such a nerd. Oh, dude, I watch too many movies, dude. I just had this thing of you walking out, with your money, you're like, and there's just this hot chick leaning up against your fucking.
Sounds much better in the movie. We'll do it that way.
All right. Yeah. That's
But no, like, just like the girls, they're leaving the bar and they come back and then like chat you up and then leave a number or whatever. Like that happens. Yeah, but yeah, I was putting a lot of time and effort into training. My obsession in MMA paid off pretty well.
like, did you ever like hear your? Did you ever like catch yourself actually having to like say the words to somebody? Like, because I used to feel weird as when I was younger. I used to feel weird that it seemed like to me I was the only one that had of a bunch of my friends and my brother and other people I know, but it seemed like I was one of few who like was like, oh, I want to do something else other than this. Like, and I would feel guilty about it. Like, I would feel weird.
I didn't feel guilty. I felt, I always felt let down because I believed in myself and I believed in the people around me. Like, so like people would put effort into certain sports and different things, but like they wouldn't match my efforts. And it was so frustrating. I was like, man, these guys could be so much better. And like, we'd all be doing way better. Our team would be better. It was, with football or team sports or even in wrestling, just to see people like just show up when I do, and you'll probably be 25% better, even if you're not putting in the same effort while you're there. If you just showed up when I did, like I'm going to be at the school at this time to run. I'm going to be at the school at this time to lift. If I did those things and you showed up at the same time, chances are you would be a lot better than you are, but you just couldn't rally the troops. Sometimes people just don't want to do it, or they don't believe in themselves, or they they set themselves up to fail before they even really try. Like they don't want to put forth the effort because they're afraid to genuinely fail at something.
Yeah, because if you try your absolute best and it doesn't work or it's not good enough, it's gonna hurt. Well, you think it's gonna hurt more than once it happens 7-8 times, it's like old hat. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Yeah.
But like once you get that first real good fucking
your heart broken 10 times.
Yeah. I'm like,
who cares?
I'm like, which one of you bitches are next?
Which one's next? Who wants to break
grab a
this
ticket?
Heart? It's just a chewed piece of dog toy at this point.
Yeah, it's not even in a fucking case anymore. It's just laying out of the wrapper, half bitten. Fuck it.
Chunks are missing.
Oh, dude. Wait, I have one more follow up on that part because this stuff I find this super interesting. Like, did you ever have anyone who like you were like okay? So in comedy, there's a thing where it's like if you get on stage 3 to 5 times a week, then you're gonna get better, and of course 4 and 5 is gonna be better than 3. But there's people that they do comedy 14 times a week, dude, and they do not get better. Have you seen that kind of thing in like MMA where it's just like, how the fuck do you put in all that time and not get like what's happening? What's happening either in the parking lot or on the way home or?
Well, something is, man, not everybody is created equal. Equality is kind of bullshit. Some people are just smarter than other people. Other people are not that smart. It's just the way it is. Not everybody is designed to rise to the top. But at the same time, they're probably not paying attention to some subtle details about what they're doing. Like, with MMA, the guy just comes in and spars every day and grapples hard every day, but he doesn't drill. He doesn't game plan. He has no strategy. He just keeps coming in and he's bashing his head against the wall, trying to get better, but he's just getting more brain damage and he doesn't know why. I think similar things could be happening with comedy too. Like you go up and you do your stand-up all the time, but if you're not taking notes, reflecting, you're not studying other people, if you're not taking courses, you might need to take a course, take a comedy course, anything where you're getting outside perspective and you need to try something new.
Yeah, dude, you know what's crazy is, dude, I got more fired up about stand-up comedy when I found out that it was like one of the only indigenous arts to the US. It's like jazz and stand-up comedy. And when I found out that, dude, it made me even love it even more because I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, it's only been here for like, oh, dude, straight up, dude. You guys can go ahead and take your cricket. We don't need it. I can say whatever I want about the waitress's ass. I can tell this guy his wife fucking sucks because she won't shut up in the middle of my job. Fucking dude, that is as American. If you go ahead and mouth off if you want, but this guy who you don't know, by the way, I think I had this line from you. I think you may have said it in a way, and I said on stage the other day, and now it's in forever. But hey lady, just because you don't know me doesn't mean I'm not a fucking black belt in this shit. Dude, and I was like, I don't know, but I think we had a conversation and it just popped out as I said it. And I'm like, I like pointed my friend, well, hey, can you write that down so I don't forget, because that's gonna be. But yeah, just because I got a black belt, just because you don't see me on TV. There's a lot of fuckers on TV that don't have black belts.
Yep, absolutely.
And there's some that have black belts, but in different things. Well, that's a whole different.
There's fighters that get main event slots that suck. They sell some tickets or whatever. They did something outside of actually being good at the sport, and then they got pushed.
Yeah.
Speaking of the sport, there's a big fight this weekend.
Oh yeah, let's talk.
About the big fight this weekend. I'm gonna share the screen with the lineup here.
And I mean, yeah, this is like.
I have to say this. Other promotions, get a freaking clue, right? I'll say this about UFC. You Google UFC 26 right there, and boom, what do you know? The fight card pops up, and all the information you really need to know. That doesn't happen with any other organization.
Is that because that's like ESPN though? Is that why? Because it looks like that's a link through ESPN.
Regardless, if they can do it, they paid, they pulled the strings, they did the thing, they made it happen. Why has not anybody else figured this out? Like
that's
it makes it so much more easier. Like even the small scale, like bare knuckle people. Like if you're not making it this easy for people to find your event and see who's fighting, you're doing it wrong. Like I really will credit UFC for this. This is way it should be. Like I don't understand why other people can't make this happen. But looking at the fights, let's start with the I don't have the whole thing here, but the mostly main card is the top whatever.
Yeah, those are the fights on the main card.
Yeah, so Anthony Pettis versus Carlos Diego Fiera.
That's the first fight,
Anthony
right?
Pettis came out with a story about how before the Diaz fight, he had his hand real bad from the specimen collection from USADA.
And he's doing it, right?
USADA. Yeah, good for him. Like man, USADA, it's just corrupt. It's USADA is no different than the WWE's drug testing program. No different whatsoever. Like they even announced like new rules recently. Basically, they're saying like, oh, we're just gonna decide to persecute people if we want to or not.
Yeah.
That it's not real. It's not real. It's make believe. It's seriously like when I tell people that it's pro wrestling and not a real sport, that's what I mean. There's all of this smoke and mirror stuff going on just to promote the fights to make money, but it's not a sport. It's not really run like a sport. They don't care at all about people using drugs or cheating. Like you can't. How do you cheat at pro wrestling?
Well, John, here's what happens. So the referee, he gets hit, right? And he falls down and he can't see. And then someone's friend comes to the back with a chair and they hit the other guy. And even though the guy was with his other friends earlier, somehow they don't fucking come out now. I'd be so mad if I was a pro wrestler and my friends would never come out as 8 dudes beat the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, dude, this is 6 weeks in a row. No one's going to fucking come out and help me. But yeah.
And they get these incompetent referees that look over at the whoever yelling or doing stuff on whatever, with the guys doing the illegal shit in the background.
Dude, like a referee.
Pro wrestling it.
Dude, I think some of the best acting has to be from the referees, dude. Because like you could look like a real asshole if you don't look like. I mean, dude, to make that shit, dude. I think Jerry Seinfeld even had a really funny joke about it. But like to like make it look good, to like act like you know all the rules for a sport that doesn't have rules, is fucking really. That's really hard to like shit that's not real. But you're like, hey, you can't come over here and just like the overacting, dude. Like I don't know. I find it. Oh, dude, WWE SmackDown is going to be in San Jose, dude, in a few weeks. So I was going to talk to you off air and see if you wanted to go. Because I think that weekend, though, I think is something else that like we plan on doing, too. So, the amateur fights.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The 8th.
Yeah, so the 7th is SmackDown. I don't know if we want to spend time on a Friday night going to SmackDown, but we'll see. Dude, it's so fun. It's so fun on TV, and then when you get there in person, and there's no announcing, and so you're just watching people fake fight. It's kind of awkward in like UFC. I mean, I remember the first time I was like,
"That's right." There's no commentating. There's no like voiceover narrator.
Dude, I remember fucking specifically. I have such a weird memory, dude. I forgot what I was saying 2 seconds ago, but now I remember this though. It was at the fight that it was a UFC knockout in Anaheim. You were on the main card against Diego Sanchez, who was favored, but all the true fans knew that you were gonna win. Anyway, I was sitting there, and this guy was sitting there, like this old guy who clearly only watched The Ultimate Fighter because he did not fucking like you at all. And he was like, and I just remember he was like,
in the club.
after like the third fight, dude, even then I was like, how can you not like him? He just picked him up and dropped him, like he carried whatever. Anyway, so after the third fight, this dude is kind of like, I had this moment where I was like, what's kind of missing? And I just hear this guy go, I can't believe we can't hear Joe Rogan during the fight. Like he was just really, and I was like, oh, that's what it is, dude. Is like, so that's why some of those is they have the earphones that you can. I've done that a couple of fights where you have the earphones, you can listen to the broadcast. But yeah, it is kind of. Yeah.
But no, I think that was the Tough started the beginning of pro wrestling fans drifting into MMA. That was the beginning, and now we're here.
Oh yeah, because of Brock Lesnar. Oh yeah, because Brock kind of started it, right? Yeah, he was like one of the, yeah.
Well, no, I think just the presentation, the way they did things, starting then, and they started really pushing towards WWE format from then, and it's just gotten worse and worse until we're here now.
I mean, even like Dana White making himself like the figurehead, kind of like a fucking Vince McMahon.
That was all planned from the beginning. That was,
and they both like Trump. They both do shit with Trump, dude. It's pretty crazy.
Well,
it's
he had to cozy up with Trump in order to block the Ali Act stuff.
Oh, is that why he did that? Oh, yep. It was all. 100%. It was
strategic. Oh, wow. Yeah. 100%
wow.
Strategic. Well, I mean, look, Dana White gets his checks from WME. WME is one of the biggest companies. They represented Harvey Weinstein. They represent all these actors, actresses. They're a very powerful organization, and they're mostly Hollywood. It's a Hollywood organization. Like, what about Hollywood would have you thinking that, oh yeah, we're with Trump? Nothing. It's 100% strategical. Like, they had Dana go do that because they want to block the Ali Act. They don't want fighters to actually have a say in their careers. They want us to have take it or leave it contracts. They like slavery.
Yeah.
But here, what do you have a pick for that fight? I don't know.
So I don't like Connor.
Anthony Pettis and
Anthony,
Carlos Diego.
I always cheer for Anthony Pettis, dude.
I don't know who Fiera is.
Yeah, and that's also true. I don't know who that is either. Yeah. That's actually, yeah, I don't know who he is. So I want Anthony Pettis to win.
And then we have women's strawweight, Claudia Gadella. And
wait, is she the cutie? She's hot, right? Wait, is that the fucking Cookie Monster or is that the other one?
I'm just seeing their headshots right here. And I mean,
sorry, I will take my lust elsewhere. It's all this talking about fucking Diego, dude. He got me all like, I could repopulate.
I know.
So, oh yeah. Oh no. Never mind. That's what's your wait.
I don't know who those. I don't know who those girls are.
Alexa Grasso is a super cute Hispanic girl, and Claudia is the fucking chick who was the she was the chick who beat Rose when she dropped it on her head, and then she just got fucked up by that Asian girl.
Oh really? She's the one who she was the champ, and she just got beat?
Yeah.
I see. And then heavyweight, Alexei Olenek and Maurice Green. Man, that's a lot of fights by Oleksy. That's 57 wins, 13 losses, 1 draw. That's wild. Which means he's been fighting cans in Russia for a while. Maurice Green, 8-3. Maurice Green, I think I've seen fight a couple times. He's tough. I don't know. Like, two guys I don't really know. I have to go with the Russian.
I know, right?
That's just the way I got to do it.
I always bet on pale white. That's what I would say.
And then women bantamweight, Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I just don't. It's like they have the two guys who are selling. They all talk all this shit about boxing, blah 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 blah, dead, blah blah blah.
They have one fight.
Like, they're doing the exact same thing. They're doing the exact same thing. Like 4 fights no one gives a shit about. Really,
Yeah.
no one cares. Yeah, right? They've got
And those are on the main card. And dude, there's 8 more
this is
fights.
the main card, exactly. So like they got 4 fights no one gives a shit about, and then 1 main event, and they're like, oh yeah, well boxing's dead and boring. Bullshit. These guys are such scam artists.
Yeah, well,
And
they pulled
it drives me crazy that people just buy it. They just buy the scam.
Well, they pulled, a total fast one, kind of like Uber. When Uber first came out, the reason why people loved it is because it costs like a third of the price of a cab, dude. So that's why everyone started doing it, and then they pulled a fast one and they raised the prices up. Well, UFC did the same thing where they got famous because they would stack those main cards with 5 big blockbuster fights, and so you couldn't really miss them. And then somehow now there's dudes on a poster that I have never fucking seen before.
It's there because it's all about the Big Mac now. They've turned into a fast food franchise. They're just cranking out because all they care about is fights. They just want to put fights on. They don't care about the quality of the fights because as long as there's fights on, somebody's going to watch it. The pro wrestling fans are going to watch it. Enough people, enough eyeballs will be on it for them to sell ad space. And that's what it's all about. That's the reason MMA is doing as well as it is because it costs less to put on an MMA promotion and run the commercials. And people will only sit through commercials if it's a live event.
Yes.
So like you can put on the live events for cheaper doing MMA than anything else, right? Any other sport, music, anything, right? Because all the other athletes and performers ask for way more money than MMA fighters do.
Like, what do you think? Do you think that's because a lot of MMA fighters maybe come from like a more like humble background, like more like martial arts?
It's because they've done a great job of just kind of brainwashing people. Like, who's really questioned or put pushback against them? The press doesn't. It's not the press. They work as a PR arm for the UFC. So like anything that goes up against what's being put out there, oh, you're just bitter, you suck, you're whatever, you're boring, that's why you don't like them, blah blah blah. What it's just they make personal attacks. They don't want to talk about the actual business model or what's happening. And then the business practices of the UFC themselves is they scare and control their fighters. These guys know what will happen if they speak up and talk against the company. So they just bow down and take it. And they're getting breadcrumbs for what they're doing, but the breadcrumbs are still better than starving.
Yeah. Huh. Fuck. That's crazy.
And then you have the fact that nobody really knows what MMA will look like after something like the Ali Act passes. So the fear of not knowing scares people also.
Huh. Fuck, dude.
But yeah. And I brought the house down. Let's talk about the main event. Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone, and Conor McGregor has, this has been a very weird lead up to this fight. I think it's very weird. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but there's been very limited access to the athletes, right? There hasn't been that many questions and things asked to them. The questions and interviews that have done are very contained.
Oh, that's a good point. They haven't had any fucking press conferences, and that was their money.
Press conferences. Everything's everything's contained. So it's like everything's pre-approved questions. Everything's
the last 3 fights they would just
edited.
They would just give him like a microphone, and he'd be all hopped up on coke.
And people and then people from the crowd would be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
From the press. But now it's very controlled. Everything's in-house. I think the allegations about the sexual assault stuff are finally bubbling up, and they don't want any hard outside questions to throw them off. And the way that they are bringing it up and talking about it is very soft. Like there's a lot of evidence out there that these people refuse to talk about. They just there's allegations. Oh yeah, there's allegations. They're addressing that there are allegations, but they're not talking about the severity of the allegations. They're not talking about how the night after the brutal rape happened, Conor went to the police with his lawyer and admitted to having consensual sex with the woman.
Oh.
So like he was there and he had sex with her. So that we know actually happened.
But I thought he's a good family guy because I watched his documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was homo.
And I'm not even saying he's guilty or whatever, but my questions concern mostly fall on the WME and UFC, like how they're handling this. Oh no, let's just keep keep it quiet and crank more money out of the guy.
He can fight. Yeah, of course.
Yep. That's disturbing. And then I think he's making a lot of crazy claims too, in order to get people talking about the crazy stuff he's talking about instead of talking about the rape stuff. So he's talking about boxing Mayweather again. He's talking about making $50 to $80 million in different fights. Which, John Nash wrote an article the other day I'm covering on one of my YouTube videos about how like the numbers just don't add up, because the numbers from the income are there up to 2017 from the court case, the lawsuit, this class action lawsuit. So like a lot of those financials are known, and like what he's saying is just not possible because it's not there. He's making shit up. No, I think he's just saying a lot of stuff just to get people talking, so they talk about something other than that stuff. Because if people take the time to dig and look at it, it looks really, really fucking bad. And I'm one of the people who are like, oh, I don't want to make a judgment until everything is in. Well, like,
it's pretty bad.
It looks bad. Even though I won't condemn him, but like, there needs to be more questions asked. There needs to be more care taken than has been shown.
Well, especially if you're gonna fucking, if someone gets, I think there was that one guy who there's been a couple cases where there are guys who they find out have been in trouble for like domestic abuse, and they just like, and Dana goes public with it, like that shithead will never fight for my company, and it's like asterisk unless he makes us $100 million more money. Yeah. It's like so shitty, dude. It's such a shitty thing, and usually Conor talks to keep people from talking about how he's probably not going to win. And now this time he's like, now they're not even talking about the fight now. Now he's just talking about
I'm going to make so much money, I'll never go to prison.
And like how he looks buffed. Okay, dude, good man. I hope Cerrone knocks his fucking head off, dude. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cerrone, he's like a fly or die, dude. It's very frustrating being a fan of his, dude, because
he doesn't. That's the thing, is he doesn't perform well against top 10 guys. He just doesn't, because he's a journeyman. He's not a top 10 guy. I don't think he's ever been a top 10 guy. He's fun to watch, but he's fun to watch when you have him beat up lower tier fighters. That's not a competitive fight. You could take any bum off the street and have me fight him and knock him out. I'm like, oh, I'm so amazing because I kicked Joe Bob, who wanted a sandwich, in the head. Oh, great. But that's the level of understanding of the sport and what a fight is to these pro wrestling fans, in my opinion. It's like they don't see it. Like, well, UFC said he's ranked number 9, so he must be really good. No, the UFC arbitrarily gives rankings to whoever the fuck they want to.
That's crazy.
Reminds me of that movie, The Great White Hype, where they took a guy who hadn't fought in years and gave him the number 1 contender.
Oh, that movie, yeah. Favorite lines ever. Yeah, so like they don't show Damon Wayne talking shit, and then when they show, and then he looks like a half suck, because like just didn't train it off because he made 20 seconds. Oh man, that movie again, dude. I want.
And that stuff was possible because it was before Muhammad Ali Act, which passed in 2000. But those were the circumstances that were operating and happening, which forced the Muhammad Ali Act to happen. It was the Boxing Reform Act in 1996 first, and then they made some amendments and turned it into the Muhammad Ali Act in 2000. But like those guys, that guy who played the Don King type character, like Don King never had the power that Dana White has. Don King never controlled the ranks. He never controlled the title. Dana White does. Like, at least Don King had to manipulate things and pay people off to get things done. Dana's just like, nope, I'm going to make this happen because no one can stop me, because this isn't really a sport. It's just pro wrestling. But yeah, so
I'm gonna go run to the front. I think the AT&T, someone else is helping him in. So if you want to finish your thought, refer me to the front door.
Well, I mean, that was pretty much that's the fight and what's happening. We can wrap up, honestly, because it's been about an hour, and we got to get.
Well, yeah, man. And Single Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, website. Got a bunch of East Coast dates. So I'm headlining a couple of nights in Philadelphia Punchline, so that's gonna be awesome. And you and me are gonna be talking about some live shows pretty soon, so that's gonna be pretty dope.
Yep.
And you got anything to plug, buddy?
Just go johnfitch.net and sign up for the newsletter. Right, my Patreon, patreon.com/JohnFitch. And I got a seminar this weekend. I got other seminars coming up, so check those out. Check out, Instagram and all the other stuff too.
Badass, dude.
Alrighty.
All right, man. And this is funny. This is like the shortest one that we've done. I think we usually go way longer, but all right, man. Yeah, dude. With let's. All right, we'll see everyone soon, dude.
Yep. Check you later.
I'm gonna fix that exit. Holy fuck. All right, dude. I have to go to the.
And you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it has to be the only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.